Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
What is up? What is up, everybody?
How we feeling? We're feeling.
Uh, feels good to be back. I feel like we took too much time off. We've been taking too much time off lately, haven't we?
That's what we've been working so damn hard.
Yeah. So I think it's time to hit the ground running. I think it's been too long. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all level 7s alike, every week this month of October, we will be doing a episode of a creepy, spooky character, somebody within that dark realm, whether it be Marvel, DC, or just in general. Welcome to the Super Breakdowns, Spooktober, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Yes, we got an awesome lineup for you guys this month. Let's see, what are we doing? Today, right now, what we're about to get into is the one, the only, the spirit of vengeance himself, Ghost Rider. Now, we're not just talking about one Ghost Rider, but we're going to be talking about quite a few different Ghost Riders. So definitely, please stay tuned for the rest of the show. You guys are going to have a great time. Next week, we're going into the man, the myth, the legend himself, Spawn. That's going to be a great one. I cannot wait for that. Especially with the recent release of Spawn for Call of Duty. It's going to be awesome. And then, of course, with a lot of stuff going on with his original voice actor Keith David, him being the new Zavala in Destiny and stuff. Also, Keith David also is voicing Spawn in Call of Duty, so that's going to be a great one. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be super fun. Then after that, Hellboy, the king, the illegitimate king of hell himself, Hellboy, and then a special one, somebody that's not necessarily comic books. There are comic books for him, but the Wolfman, the OG Wolfman, Lawrence Talbot, the original Wolfman. We will be going in and talking about him as well. So without further ado, let's bring in the one, the only, Saiyan Jag. He has some awesome gameplay for you guys today, so you guys can enjoy some gameplay while we play. So let's just get into it. Boom, Jag, welcome.
Yep.
Welcome. So give them a rundown of what you're going to be playing today.
I'm playing Ghost Rider on PS2, and then later Midnight Suns on the PS5.
All right. So let's get into it. As usual, Lord's Triage, would you please take us away?
So there have been several characters over the years, over the many years, who have actually held the mantle of Ghost Rider.
Mhm.
And the one thing I always found interesting is that the rider's ride always reflects what it is the rider is riding at that point in time. We've seen the Ghost Rider ride several different things, from Mack trucks to monster trucks to motorcycles to horses to a mammoth, apparently. So,
Don't forget the shark guy. Don't forget the shark rider. Yeah,
oh god, yeah.
that was a weird one. That was a weird one.
So it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that's always constant throughout the Ghost Rider story is a certain level of pain.
Mm.
Now there's been, like I said, several, but there's only a handful that we're going to focus on for the sake of time and for the sake of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my personal favorite Ghost Rider is Johnny Blaze.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the first one that everyone knows. He was the first one I was kind of introduced to everyone. Me personally would be Robbie Reyes. There's a lot of reasons besides the fact that he drives a Charger. Besides the fact that he rides a Charger. But for those of you who don't know, like the Ghost Rider goes all the way back, and it originates very long time ago. Like literally like 1 million BC, where we see the first ever Ghost Rider. His name pretty much, he was a intelligent caveman, and his tribe was attacked by a Wendigo. The caveman, I'm sorry, the Wendigo pretty much slaughtered the rest of his tribe. He was the lone survivor of this. And the Wendigo looks at him and pretty much challenges him. He's like, "Yo, listen, you feel some kind of way? Come at me, bro. Come find me." And so while he also names him Ghost, which is where Ghost Rider comes from. He named the K-Man Ghost, as in essentially he's a ghost now. Nobody knows him. His tribe's gone. He's a ghost. So Ghost, come find me. Not to be mistaken for Ghost from Power, but essentially, yeah, it's like, I come find me. So while Ghost is going on this trek, pretty much he can't do it. He ends up almost dying, and he gets visited by a snake. As we all know, in a lot of mythology, a snake is a representation of evil. And the snake's like, "Yo, you really want to find his Wendigo? I got you. Take this power, do what you got to do. But now you rock with me." And hence, you have the first ever Ghost Rider from 1 million BC. And again, this goes back. He does ride a mammoth. It only makes sense. He ends up riding a hell mammoth. But that rider, unfortunately, he wasn't able to defeat the Wendigo. He ends up losing the battle, loses his hell mammoth or whatever. But then later on, he ends up joining the Stone Age Avengers, kind of like 1 million BC, Black Panther. And you can see all that in Marvel Legacy 2017 issue number 1. Um, and the first host is in the pages of Avengers, 2018, I believe. But then we have a few other writers following that. We have the following writer, who went by Paul, who was a Native American chieftain in the 11th century. Um, who his first appearance is Ghost Rider 2006 in issue number 33. Um, he was a part of the what was it, like 2000 AD Avengers storyline, and they gave him some kind of dialogue in that. But then he had a rivalry with Puritan Avengers Ghost Rider Noble Kale, um, who was also an ancestor of Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. So it gets deep. It gets real deep. There's a whole lot of like intertwining within the Ghost Rider and in general in the characters. But the snake ends up being the one known as Mephisto, who's essentially, would you call him the devil in of Marvel?
Because it's actually kind of funny, because like that's always one of those things, that there's always that misconception. I think of him kind of like Hades. He always gets labeled as the devil, but he's not necessarily the actual devil, because there really is no real devil of the Marvel universe.
I mean, like, there's the one below all, but we end up finding out the one below all is essentially the one above all, which is essentially like the god, which is like God of the Marvel. Pretty much, he's the one above all's Hulk form, essentially. When the one above all, when the Marvel God hulks out essentially. Which, if you guys watch that video, you guys, the video that I sent you guys, the freaking hour and a 2 hour long video by Comic Books Explained. Shout out Comic Books Explained. That was an amazing video, really really long. But yeah, so yeah, there really isn't a devil. So he's kind of like what would you say? It's kind of, yeah, like you said, like Hades. He's not the devil, but he's like representation of that.
Right. I think he kind of gets off on that title of being that all powerful evil entity, but no. And usually he does it through what he calls making the deal, and it's usually one of those things like they say with deals with the devil, first rule in dealing with the devil is don't.
Mm-hmm.
And second rule is remember he always comes to collect.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, he always collects his debts.
Yes.
And then, so we get Noble Kale. Then we get, after Noble Kale, we get another Native American Ghost Rider, and an Apache woman from the 19th century by the name of Kashala, who was also known as, she didn't take the name Ghost Rider. She took the name Spirit Rider.
Mm.
And she has a whole comic to herself back in 2021, and she's also mentioned in 2016 Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. But yeah, the list just goes on until we get to Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Robbie Reyes, all those other characters who have held the title of Ghost Rider. And we'll talk about the weird people, like the people that you wouldn't normally see become Ghost Rider in a little bit. We'll talk about them later on down the line. But now we'll just talk about like the main people that most popular people that have played Ghost Rider. Which, you know what, since Johnny Blaze is your favorite, I'll let you take it away when going on about Johnny Blaze.
Okay. So Johnny was a stunt rider and probably one of the best to ever do it. And when I tell you that this boy could ride a bike, he could ride a bike like no one had ever seen. The only person who was better than Johnny was his dad, Barton Blaze.
Barton Blaze.
Yeah, I know. I find it a little interesting also.
Yeah.
But Johnny wound up unfortunately losing his father. And how that kind of put him on a real bad path, which led him to become extremely close to his love interest, Roxanne's father, who was the head of the circus that they were traveling in. Once again, this story is very a little colorful at times. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
wait, whoa, hold on, run that back for me. He ends up finding his love interest.
He bonds with his love interest father.
Oh, he bonds with his love interest. Oh, okay. Ooh. All right, because you didn't you say colorful after that? I was like, whoa. I didn't know.
No, I said the story gets a little colorful at times, like the whole thing with them being part of a traveling circus. I thought that was kind of weird.
Oh,
but
okay. I thought you said something else.
But anywho, so yes. Johnny became extremely close to him, and he's going as far as thinking of this man as a surrogate father. Now, the issue came in when Johnny found out that he was dying of cancer. So he literally would do anything to save this man from dying, and he winds up making the deal. Now, the way the deal is made varies depending on the version of the story you're reading. Like in the comics, it was a little bit more. He did some black magic type shit. In the movie with Nicolas Cage, he actually appeared to him, and they actually signed a contract. It all depends on the version of the story you're reading, but the outcome is more or less the same. He makes the deal, and the next day, that man is fitter than a fiddle. He's healthy as a horse, and then hours later, he dies in a motorcycle accident.
That's why you don't make the deal.
Yes, and that is exactly why you don't make the deal.
Always read the fine print. Always read the fine print.
Now, the wild part is that Johnny becomes Mephisto's Ghost Rider. But one of the issues I always thought that was really interesting is that they never really explained what the Ghost Rider does.
Mm.
Like, we all know what the Ghost Rider's powers are and what it's capable of and how it's the quote unquote spirit of vengeance. But like, we never understood like what the Ghost Rider's job was in relation to hell or the devil or Metaphisto.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, not Metaphisto, Mephistopheles. So,
Mephistopheles, yeah.
excuse me.
Forgot about it.
So I always thought that was kind of interesting because that's one of the few things the movie did right is that they actually named him as the quote unquote devil's bounty hunter. So it's like if something escaped from hell, he had to drag it back. So I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched the movie in so long that like I completely forgot about that. Now I forgot that. Yeah, he was the devil's bounty hunter. Oh shit! I gotta go back and watch that movie again. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. You were saying?
So yes, so that is actually one of the things I thought that was actually pretty cool about the movie. But we in the comics we get to see Johnny Blaze, and now here's my thing. Because Johnny Blaze is the barroom brawl starting, hard drinking, foul mouthed. Like, I pick up a girl, take her home, have all kinds of wild sex with her, send her back the next day in an Uber. Like that's the Johnny Blaze I grew up reading about. All right, he was a man's man. He caused some trouble. He didn't give a fuck. So to watch him be all tame and I couldn't take Nicolas Cage's performance as Johnny Cage serious. Not as Johnny Blaze serious.
But now, what performance of Nicolas Cage can you really take seriously, though?
But you know what I mean. Like, my whole thing is like the issue comes in like I don't like this whole we're gonna go. You can't take a character and completely go against the source material.
Yes, I hate that. That's been a large problem that we've been having within the comic book movie world, and just even in writing and TV.
Now, don't get me wrong. I get that they make certain points with certain things where they were like, if you're someone who, you knew your life was at this point in time and it could go wrong or get worse, you're going to walk a narrow path and you're going to tiptoe. But that's not who Johnny Blaze was.
Yeah, he wasn't somebody that was. He's a stunt writer. His job was to take risks, and he lived his life by that.
Right. So it's like if you looked at his character and saw who he was, and then for him to be completely turned out on his head, like that's not who he was.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to pick someone to play Johnny Blaze, who are you picking?
As an actor wise?
Yes. Because there's only two people that come to mind.
All right, what would yours be? Because I had to think about that one.
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. It's either Charlie Hunnam, who was Jack Seller in Sons of Anarchy.
Ooh, okay.
Or Norman Reedus, if I'm saying it correctly.
Oh man, yes, there you go. That's my number one. Or
what?
I'll take Keanu Reeves, either Norman Reedus or Keanu Reeves. One, because they're both avid, like, riders, they're avid bike enthusiasts. So I could take either one of them.
Did Jack say Keanu Reeves?
No, I said Keanu Reeves.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. My only problem is I'm not a big fan of Keanu's acting anymore. Like his actual dialogue acting, it's not. It doesn't do it for me anymore. Now if you look at like his action, absolutely, yeah. But I don't know his dialogue roles is really they just don't be hitting no more like they used to. Like hell, I mean, I love John Wick. Well, if you really took the transcript of John Wick and looked at all Keanu's lines, he probably said about 50 words that whole movie.
So what?
Any of them? No, again, not knocking the movies. I love the movies, but what I'm saying is like his dialogue acting. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about Johnny, again, he was very eccentric. he was out there, he was taking risks. Like you said, he was, bringing shorties home, smash her out, send her home the next day, or even that night. You know what I'm saying? He was a playboy. And the only problem is I just can't see Keanu Reeves embodying that. Every character that you see him play as of late, or just in general, are very reserved characters. They don't speak much. You know what I mean? And when they do speak, it's very to the point, kind of dry, cut to the point.
Well,
So I just can't see him being that eccentric, character.
no, I could see that working in one major story. So there's a story that they did. Sorry, as I sip my coffee, where the writer actually does get dragged in, where Johnny actually does wind up going to hell, right? And how he winds up escaping, or so he thought.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
So I actually have this series, and
Say that again, you're cutting out a little bit, buddy.
my bad, I said I actually have this series. When I find it, I'm going to dig it out and bring it to you. So he actually winds up escaping hell, or so he thought. What he did was, because as you know, the Rider is one of the few creatures that can travel between the worlds. So when he, quote unquote, escaped, Lucifer hitched a ride with him. So it was supposed to be that when he came through, that the Rider, because the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos, is bonded to Johnny Blaze. So because of that, it had an anchor. So when Lucifer crossed over, he didn't have one. So what Lucifer did was his essence separated into 666 people on Earth.
Oh.
So Johnny could actually see him as Lucifer. So every time he came across one, he wound up killing him. But lo and behold, he was only doing what Lucifer wanted, because every time that he died, the power of Lucifer divided amongst the survivors.
Oh, so he was just essentially spreading him to more and more people.
Well, not necessarily spreading him. He was what's the word we're looking for? By executing him, he was consolidating his power. Excuse me, consolidating.
Oh yeah. So every time he killed one, that power would disperse and more until he got down to that one last person, which essentially had all the essence combined in that one person, which would give him a corporeal form, a physical body.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because that Johnny Blaze was way more tortured. He didn't talk much. He didn't have that whole "I was going to take life and seize it by the ball." So if he played that Johnny Blaze, I could see that working.
Hey guys, not to go off track real quick, but remember when we were setting up, I said I felt like I was forgetting something?
Yeah. You Terramana Tequila?
Absolutely, I did. I was sitting there, I was like, why is everything so mellow right now? Why does everything feel so mellow? That's why, because I forgot my drink. Sorry to interrupt. It just hit me. You know that moment when you feel like you're forgetting something, and it's just bothering you for mad long, and then you finally realize what it is, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, that was me now.
It finally hit you, Tina finally had enough of Ike.
God damn.
I'm sorry, was that too dark?
Absolutely not. Just wait for what I say later. Oh yeah, no. That was pretty good.
Yes, but Johnny was actually one of the first people to actually master the power of the Rider and was able to control it. Because before, initially, it would only happen at night. Then it would happen in the spirit, in the presence of someone evil or dark. But then Johnny actually wound up able to control it. Now, he actually wound up being able to remove the Rider from his body and imprisoned it inside of the gas chamber of his motorcycle.
What?
Yes, and this is how Daniel Ketch comes along. Because Daniel Ketch was a bike messenger. And what happened was he had found his sister's murdered body, and just as he was fleeing the crime scene with as he was being chased, he wound up going into a cemetery, and he wound up coming across Johnny Blaze's bike. And when he touched the gas chamber, the rider possessed him.
Mm. So is this after Johnny dies, or is Johnny dead at this point in the storyline, or is he just away from his bike at the time? Nigga just
So,
stole it away.
so basically, what happened was that Johnny basically had separated himself from the rider and basically walked away from it.
Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, that was like his kind of like, you know what? That was like that moment in Spider-Man where he just leaves the suit in the trash can in a way and walks away from the suit.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And again, ladies, level sevens. I'm. If you guys have been watching this a long time, you guys definitely know that I'm not the comic book expert here. It's definitely Triage's encyclopedia or mental encyclopedia of comic books and superheroes far surpasses mine. Also because he is an old man as well. So so yeah, it definitely so yeah, you'll see me. You're gonna hear me a lot. And if you're new to the show, one, welcome, thank you. If you're new to the show, you're gonna hear me say, "Oh, really? Oh, shit. Oh, word. Oh, so you kind of mean kind of like this," because I'm learning as you are learning. There's a lot of things that I do know, but as compared to what Triage knows, it is nothing. It is nothing. One of these shows we got to do with Fantastic Four in one of these shows. Because as you know, I just got pretty much like 40, maybe 60, Fantastic Four, OG Fantastic Four comic book runs, like from issue 1 to issue like 120 or something like that, or whatever. I just got a ton of those, so I'm definitely down to do some Fantastic Four research. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning, so please bear with me here.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely with that. But I mean, like I said, like the whole thing with the Ghost Rider, and this is one of the things I think that's really so interesting is that if you found the right actor or actors, because this is something else we could do, because we can see the mantle get passed back and forth or get passed along because and have each writer add something to it, because like as you know, Johnny Blaze was the one who actually just used the chain.
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel Ketch was actually the first one to use the Hellfire shotgun.
Oh, okay, and then that's something that they also added into the movie with Nicolas Cage, because at the end we see him, he has a shotgun, but we see him pull the shotgun and hellify the shotgun, and that's what I do want to point. I just want to say that's one power that I love that the writer has. He's able to hellify whatever he wants.
Yeah, well,
he can hellify whatever he wants in a way.
This is one of them things, like I said, like, I mean, if they actually did like an old, like a Wild West Ghost Rider, I think it would work, because you have the whole thing. Like, you've seen Tombstone, right?
Yeah. Oh, Tombstone. Refresh my memory.
Oh my
Spider-Man
God.
villain.
Oh
No, that's not where I'm going.
No?
Tombstone, Wild Western movie, Val Kilmer's
Yes.
it's Doc Holliday, Russell Crowe's Rider. You seen it?
Yep.
Okay, so like take that movie premise, like how they had to deal with the cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if for example, how the cowboys, they cripple Wyatt's one brother and then murder his other brother.
Oh, I see.
Now say somebody comes along, makes the deal, whatever. Like that, like I'm all like, I see how that could like work in that era, especially with him being able to manipulate the Hellfire, like just the Hellfire chain, whatever, and then like between the 6-shooters and the shotguns.
That would be crazy. I mean, because in the movie they introduced the old west Ghost Rider,
Carter Slade.
Yeah, Carter Slade. That
And
would be so fire. I would love a movie based on him. And what's his name? Sam Wilson or something like that. Sam, the actor's name.
I believe it's Sam Elliott.
Sam
There we
Elliott.
go,
Yeah.
Sam Elliott. Yep.
Yep. Sam Elliott, bro. And first off, I love Sam Elliott as an actor.
Actually, now that I think about it, he was in Tombstone. He was
Yeah. Right.
Wyatt's older brother.
Yeah. So that I would love that. That would be so fire to actually, no pun intended, to the fuck it. It would be so hellfire to have to get a movie that is based off of Sam Elliott's Carter Slade Rider. Because bro, the movie wasn't great. I personally enjoyed the entire movie. The movie wasn't great, but that moment where Carter walks up to Johnny on the horse, he hands him the contract of San Manganza and is like, all right, you do what you got to do. You know, there's a lot going on and you can't go alone. He's like, don't worry, I got this. He's like, no, it's all right. Puts his hat on. He's like, I got one ride left in me. And fucking and goes go. I'm gonna say go ghost on this one. Dude,
Yes, yes, go ahead.
that shit was fire. That shit was hellfire, dude. And then the ride between them two.
He's like,
That
can you keep up? And then the horse transforms. He's like, yeah, that'll work.
bro, that scene is literally the greatest scene in that movie. He's like, I got one last ride in me. And
Yeah.
then the music, I think the music that was playing while they were riding was Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
And that shit is just, that whole scene, and they're just riding. And then it'll be nice to see what happens after the movie, because like I said, Carter had that last ride. Now he's in the middle of the goddamn desert.
Well,
He can't
here, excuse me. Here's the thing with Carter Slade. Now, Carter Slade's character before the whole retcon with the Mammoth Rider,
Mhm.
Carter Slade's character technically was, chronologically speaking, the first Ghost Rider. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be that Carter was a school teacher who was shot in the Wild Wild West, and it was supposed to be that he had donned the suit and the white horse to fight the growing criminal element in his area, and how they dubbed him the Phantom. They dubbed him the Phantom Rider because of the way he looked, because he dressed head to toe in all white.
Yeah.
Sort of like what's am I thinking? The Lone Ranger?
Probably. He had the sidekick. Fuck, what's his name? Tonto.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's very similar precedent. So story wise, so it's one of those things like he became the rider of that quote unquote generation because everyone thought, he's a supernatural creature, with the way he acted, stuff like that, almost like the way the Phantom was.
Yeah.
So they dubbed him the Phantom Rider. So technically, chronologically speaking, Carter Slade is the first Ghost Rider.
And I personally, the whole Mammoth Rider shit, I can't really get behind that too much. I feel like it's too fucking goofy. But definitely, Carter Slade, to me, he's the first rider. To me,
Well,
he's the first rider.
a mammoth isn't necessarily. I mean, I don't know because I've never fucking seen one. But I'd imagine that if it's no different from an elephant, shout out to my son Zach,
Yeah.
Mastodon. But anywho, I mean, if it's no different from an elephant, I mean, I don't think it's going to be super fast anyway. So, like I said, it's just kind of goofy.
A motorcycle isn't like a regular
Like-
motorcycle. Really, what they're topping out at maybe like what 80 miles per hour.
But you got to remember, most of the riders are riders. So it's like Johnny Blaze would definitely have a bike that's tricked out. There's no way he wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, he did. But I'm like, what the hell? How the hell Carter Slade gonna trick out a horse? But I feel like the fact that.
But hold on, so bear with me then. Let's say a Mustang at top speed runs at I don't know what 30, 35 miles an hour, maybe 40.
You know what?
Right?
You know what? Let's be let's be accurate. Let's be accurate. I'm gonna look it up. Real quick. But with that, I just feel like, granted, a mammoth, you're right, isn't gonna be that fast, but I feel like the fact that it's hellified, that would kind of be terrifying in a way, wouldn't
No,
it?
no, it would be. I definitely agree with that. But like, I was trying to say, like, for example, if you have the horse that, like I said, that runs, let's say, top speed is 40 miles per hour,
Yeah,
right?
44.
Now, if the horse is quote unquote hellified, if it's not getting tired and it's chasing someone else who's on foot or who's on a horse, and that horse does get tired of the prey that he's chasing them on, doesn't matter. And besides, if you can go 40 miles per hour and everyone else around you can't,
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. I see what you're getting at with this. I definitely do.
right?
But like, and a mammoth. I don't get me wrong. I do 100% agree with you. The mammoth thing, kind it's just not it don't resonate. But also at the time, if you think about the time period, why are you going that fast? You know what I'm saying? Like why I when you're old west riding a horse, the point is to go fast. Modern day riding a motorcycle, the point is to go fast. A mammoth, there probably wasn't no real need to go fast. You're riding a fucking mammoth. How many things are really gonna try to kill you? And then
Yeah.
you're already undead.
I mean, the man did just get his whole tribe butchered by a Wendigo. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he had to find the Wendigo, so he's on a hunt. And last time I checked, when you're hunting, you're not moving fast. You're moving slow when you're hunting. So I just feel like the mammoth it's not it to me. The mammoth is not it to me. Like I feel like riding a mammoth, as in if you're looking at speed wise and the idea of a ghost rider riding, moving real fast, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. I feel like the idea of a hellified shark makes more sense.
Could use a saber-tooth tiger would have made more sense. You know that, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Why the hell is he riding a mammoth? They're saber-toothed tigers that can move way faster and are way deadlier.
Mhm. Shout out to yes, the Trini, yes.
Saber-toothed tiger. Like, am I bugging?
No,
Sharks? Wait. Oh.
no, Jag, that was a great point.
Mm-hmm. They're like way more faster prehistoric creatures than that. Why? Like what? Always unless it was close by and just said fuck it.
Yeah. It was kind of like a last ditch ever. Like, hey, fucking mammoth. Yeah, I'm gonna take a mammoth. Me.
Maybe he was overcompensating. I don't know.
Maybe. I just don't know. I also want to give you guys the warning. I now have my tequila. Shout out to Terramon Tequila.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, please sponsor us.
Please sponsor it. So no, it's about to get even more interesting and more fun. But no, Jack probably has a good point. It was probably
That's a phenomenal point. Fuck good. That's phenomenal good point.
Yeah, it was probably like, oh, it's right here. I need to get to where I gotta go. Me personally, I'd grab a mammoth just because it's a mammoth, just to say, yeah,
Intimidation.
I'm riding a mammoth. That's on fire.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of big energy all of a sudden.
I'd do it just for the bragging rights of saying that I'm riding a flaming mammoth. But again, saber-tooth tiger makes more sense. Makes way more sense. And that would actually be way more fucking terrifying as well than a mammoth. I mean, granted, like the initial shock value, the initial shock value of going through the woods and seeing a flaming fucking mammoth walk out of the trees, initial shock factor, granted.
But it's undead too, right?
Yeah, and it's undead. And yeah. Nick, did you just die as a ghost rider? How the fuck do you die as
I'm freaking playing the freaking bike section.
Hey, that's just like when I asked how did he die as Wolverine. I'm just saying it happens.
Granted, true. But yeah, no,
Out
I'm
of
just
fucking.
no. I fucked with Carter Slade way more than I'd fuck with a mammoth riding caveman, a flaming mammoth riding caveman. I'd be more terrified of the man that has a flaming horse with flaming bullets. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. He just look and his look. I just want to point out the look of Carter Slade as a Ghost Rider is fucking awesome. It's awesome, so fucking awesome.
Yeah. Nah, there's definitely been some really interesting ones. And yo, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the one thing we've seemed to skip.
Elephant in the room. All right.
The penance there.
Oh, the penance. Yes, that's his number one thing, man. What was the dialogue for the movie? Um, Look into my eyes. Your soul is stained with the blood of the innocents. Feel their pain.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And then he
Now,
just like burns their fucking soul.
now, funny thing though, the penance there does not work on everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's like, you're what do you say? What Legion say? He's like, your penance there won't work on me. I have no soul to burn. No. So, yeah. When he first
That's
tried, he was like, I have no soul to burn. That was Mephistopheles, right? Or
that's Blackheart.
it's Blackheart. Blackheart. He's like, your penance there won't work on me. I have no soul to burn. And then proceeds to fucking choke him out.
Yes.
And then when he becomes Legion, he's like, oh, you have all these souls to burn now. You fucked up.
Yeah, you had all this big dick energy a minute ago. Yeah, watch what happens now, nigga.
You got all this inside you. All this inside you. I'm gonna burn now. That shit was. Oh my god.
Because the writer has actually used the penance there over the years on several people, and not including the Ghost Rider has used it on, let's see, Doctor Doom, excuse me, on Doctor Strange. He's tried it on Daredevil. He's tried it on the Punisher. He's tried it. He actually successfully did it to Galactus. That
We're gonna talk about the Galactus in a minute. We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
Galactus in a minute.
Yes. So that was the one that I thought was really interesting. But here's the thing: in order for the penance there to work, the person that he's using it on has to have a soul.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have eyes because you have to make eye contact because it doesn't work on Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to feel guilty about the things they've done because it didn't work on the Punisher.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Punisher, and speaking of Ghost Rider, we're gonna talk about the fact that Frank Castle became a Ghost Rider at one point.
Oh, you take it away. Go ahead.
Oh man. Not only did he become there was this massive battle. I forget with who. Oh, Thanos. I think it was a massive battle with Thanos. Thanos wins, and pretty much all the heroes are dying. He's murking out all the heroes of the world. All right.
Oh, this is when he makes Wolverine his dog.
I'm gonna take a pause for a moment. Talk about that. I didn't know about that. What?
Yeah,
Thanos makes Wolverine his dog?
Yeah.
I did not read that part.
He makes his dog at one point. He does the same thing to Hulk too.
Yeah. No, I know that it gets done to the Hulk, but I believe it was Doom that did it, not Thanos.
Yeah, Doom did it to Hulk, and apparently Thanos did it to Wolverine. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I gotta look into that. What ends up happening? Frank gets slammed into a wall. Pretty much, he's damn near dead. He's pretty much dying. And as we know, the Punisher is a hard motherfucker to kill. He is a hard motherfucker to kill. So he's at that point where he's dying, and so he gets the deal offered to him. And he's like, listen, you have and in order to become a Ghost Rider, you gotta have rage and you gotta have vengeance. You gotta want revenge. And of course, Frank Castle is a perfect fucking conduit for the spirit of vengeance. because that's all he does. That's all he does. He goes around and kills people that deserve to be killed.
He literally punishes the wicked.
Exactly. And so he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm on my last leg net right now. Everybody else is pretty much gone. Let's do it. And so he takes on the Rider, becoming the Ghost Rider and the Punisher. And pretty much he goes and fights Thanos, but Thanos he wounds Thanos, but Thanos ends up getting away. Now at this point, the world has been laid to waste. All heroes are dead. Everyone's dead. He becomes the last living being on planet Earth. And it's like that for, I think, like a century or centuries until Galactus comes to Earth wounded and in pain. And again, you got to be a strong motherfucker to wound Galactus. A cosmic being. There's very few like that can actually wound Galactus. I'm talking Hero Kala can wound Galactus. Other celestial bodies, celestial beings can wound Galactus. I believe even Adam Warlock can wound Galactus. But apparently what happened was Galactus had a run-in with Thanos. And it was Thanos that had wounded him and hurt him. And Galactus actually came to Earth looking for help. This man came to Earth looking for help, looking for the help of Earth's heroes. Gets there and finds that that everything's dead. And so what Frank's like, all right, well, fuck it. Yo, Galactus, you want to kill Thanos? I want to kill Thanos. Why don't we work together and go kill Thanos? Here, Earth is dead. You need to heal. Take Earth, destroy Earth, eat Earth, get your power back. I'll become your herald, and we'll both go hunt down Thanos together. And that's how Frank Castle Ghost Rider becomes the herald of Galactus, becoming and so not only is he Frank Castle Punisher, but now with the abilities of Ghost Rider, and then gets imbued with the power cosmic, and thus becoming the cosmic Ghost Rider, herald of Galactus. And together they ride the universe, hunting down Thanos. That shit is crazy to me. That and this is why I love Marvel, and at least the way they write things, because they have they have the habit of essentially fusing heroes' abilities together. Because we see Doom become the hero of the Galactus, and we see other characters also become the herald of Galactus. So it's within the same kind of issue where Thanos makes Hulk his dog while also having Cosmic Ghost Rider by his side. Thanos wins. What was that, issue 15 of Marvel Legacy? Thanos wins. That's crazy. That's fucking bonkers. That's bonkers, man. But yeah, dude, it gets wild. It gets wild. And then me personally, I personally want to talk about Robbie Reyes as well. Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider is now that's also an interesting storyline there as well. Before I go on this whole go off this whole tangent on Robbie Reyes, do you have any other things that you want to add to Johnny?
Off the top of my head, not at the moment.
All right.
His one time he fused with Flash and Etrigan and became a speed demon.
That doesn't even sound attractive.
That sounds.
He fused with the Flash and Etrigan?
Yes.
But wait, hold on. Whoa.
Wait a minute. Was this during that whole crossover thing where they combined a lot of the Marvel and DC characters?
Yep.
No, I do know exactly what you're talking about. I do remember the whole thing with the Flash. I don't remember him being fused with Etrigan also, though.
Yeah, who's that you're getting to?
Yeah, I was not a fan of that series at all.
Became a speed demon.
Yeah, that sounds bonkers. That just sounds nutty.
Well, have you ever seen those?
Yep.
I've seen them.
I've actually seen
Wolverine
some
and
of the
Batman.
comics.
Like,
Amalgam universe.
like they fucking fused Batman with Wolverine. They did like
Captain America and Superman and yeah,
Strong
I
Prince of
definitely
Wonder
saw 'em.
Woman
I
became
didn't read
Amazon.
too many of them. Oh, they fused Nightwing, not Nightwing. They fused Moon Knight with someone too. Was it? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, no, that whole comic book line was that whole comic book run was fucking nutty to me. The whole comic book line was just completely fucking nutty to me. Um,
well,
go ahead.
but the wild part is with certain characters, it wasn't necessarily bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when the Marvel universe did it amongst themselves, it actually did kind of look kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, like I said, they do it often. Like hell, and Silver Surfer, and Silver Surfer, which I feel like that was also a little play on Super Scroll as well. That was a way of playing on Super Scroll, where Johnny Storm ends up getting the abilities and the powers of all the Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was definitely a play on that. Like, and I personally found that shit dope. I thought that shit was so fun to watch. I'm tired of people hating on the OG Fantastic Four movies. I'm tired of it because you motherfuckers hate on the OG, and then they want to, and then they
At least
hate
that one
on
got a
Fan
sequel.
Stick, but that's just they justifiably hate on Fan Stick. They justifiably hate on Fan Stick.
Fan Force Table.
That shitty ass the last Fantastic Four movie.
Is that
Joe
what we call it?
Jordan
Fan
in it.
Force Table? Yeah, yes, I know
Yeah.
the one you're talking about, Jag. I'm saying, is that what we call it?
That's what we call it, Fan Stick.
Fan Force Table. Oh,
It's
okay.
the number 4 and then stick.
Well,
That's
okay.
literally how it's spelled out on the thing. So we don't even give it the honor of being called a Fantastic Four. It's Fan Stick because it's so fucking. I feel like it had potential. It had so much potential, and then just fell short. Like the final battle lasted all of what like less than 5 minutes.
I never sat through it.
I don't
Nope.
necessarily recommend it, but but as like a comic book lover, I recommend just watching it just so you're informed on it.
Oh, okay. So if I told you to sit through She-Hulk and then you did, how would you feel?
We have.
No, but Jack, that's my whole point. Thank you.
Yeah, again as
So
a
if I'm going to feel that way after sitting through this, I think I'm good.
no, because I feel like Fan Forsic has more potential than She-Hulk did. Fan Forsic had way more potential to be a more darker Fantastic Four story. It definitely was definitely darker, and with that there was a lot of doors that they opened up to, and I feel like it also went a lot closer, at least in the look of the characters. Again, taking out Johnny Blaze being black. Not Johnny Blaze. Johnny Storm being black. And Sue is actually the adopted one. Taking that out of it, it just had it. And if even then, if you look at Ben in that, he's literally a rock monster. There's no rubber suit. He's all CGI, but it doesn't look bad. Like the movie visually did not look bad at all. It was one of those situations where it was literally just a story.
Okay, so that was a good Doom.
No.
It could have been. It could, and that's where I feel it lacked that. It could have been a good Doom. It had the potential to be a good Doom. I feel like if they took the original like movie Doom and put him in this world and gave him those level of abilities, because it was closer to the Mystic Doom. Like his powers were more mystic than anything. It went through the whole idea of Victor Von Doom being thrown into the past and having all these years to gain all this knowledge and hone these powers and abilities. So it was close to the comic books on that, the source material on that aspect of it. Um, but in this version, pretty much he's thrown to another dimension where time moved differently. So he was stuck. He wasn't thrown. He was stuck in this other dimension and on this pretty much this chaos planet for years, even though on Earth it was only maybe about like a year. I think only a year passed, but to him he was there for way longer. And that's where his vengeance comes in. They still go with, you know, him having the love interest with Sue, which is a part of fueling his hatred towards the Fantastic Four. But what fuses Fantastic Four is because he feels like they left him.
No, okay. Hold on, we're getting a little off subject,
Yeah,
but
wait.
I wanted to talk about this because, like, when Jack brought up the Speed Demon thing, it was the Infinity Warp. That's what it was.
Oh,
When Marvel took certain characters and combined them, because you have the Supreme Soldier, the Soldier Supreme, who is a mixture between Captain America and Doctor Strange. You have the Arachnite, which is a mixture between Moon Knight and Spider Man. You have
yes,
the Iron Hammer, who is Iron Man and Thor, and then you have the Ghost Panther.
which is Ghost Rider and and Black Panther.
Yes, like he's literally riding a giant panther.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I saw that one too. I saw that one too.
Now, that's one I have not done any research on, but I definitely want to read that story.
Yeah, when I first saw the cover art, when I first saw the character, I was like, "Oh, I got to check this out." Again, I haven't read any of the Infinity War, but no, I lied. That is definitely a lie. I definitely have read some of the Infinity War, but just like excerpts. Not I haven't actually read like whole comics, just like little bits here and there. But it's definitely worth a read. From the little bit that I captured and caught, is most definitely worth the read. Um, but again, like they have a habit of doing this. So with you know combining Ghost Rider with the Punisher and essentially giving them the powers of Silver Surfer, the power of Cosmic, that's fucking broken to me. That's fucking broken to me.
Hey, maybe we just got a comic book character that can finally take on. Never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
Ah, ah,
No, we speak
no.
our minds.
We speak our minds here.
I was gonna say maybe we finally got a comic book character that can finally take out a Saiyan.
Legitimately take out Osane. Maybe. We just what hey. Yeah, honestly, yeah, yeah, oh shit. You think you think Mastered UI Goku can beat Galactus, Jack?
You can't hit him.
Can't hit who?
You can't hit Goku and Master UI, but
Now, see, this is one of those questions, and once again, we're gonna get off subject. Where I don't. Let's not say we can't hit him. Let's just say that someone hasn't found a way to do it.
wait, he got hit by Jaren though. Like
I
it
bet,
took a little bit,
I
but
bet that nigga Jaren knocked him the fuck out.
uh-huh. Yeah. Eat that one up. Eat that one up. Eat that one up. Eat that one up. But the thing about Galactus versus Master UI Goku, like Galactus literally can just absorb him. Like it's not about hitting him, not about touching him, but if he's literally absorbing everything around him, including him, I don't know. I don't know. Question is now, can Goku beat Zatanna?
Well, this is one of the issues we were talking about with the whole magical thing, and are they immune to radiation? Are they what? Because like if we keep a fight bare knuckles, I'm not gonna lie. There's probably very few characters that probably could beat them. But it's
Yeah.
like a fight is more than just throwing punches. Like I said, there's a good 12 characters I can name off the top of my head who will outsmart them.
I mean, okay, outsmart Goku, maybe. Vegeta, I'm not too sure because he does have a very high battle IQ.
Nah, I
Battle
definitely
IQ is
I
very high.
definitely think he's getting outsmarted too. Because the thing that's gonna be Vegeta's outdoing is his pride.
Yep.
It's always worked that way.
Yep. I know. I'm working on the shirts. I know. Well, now the thing, and Goku can be outsmarted because he has the problem of letting his opponent get to their full potential, which I also feel is a form of Saiyan pride. He may not know it, but it most definitely, to me, I feel like it's a form of Saiyan pride.
There are 3 magic C's in the word Carpaccio, but how many C's are in the word cunt? Just sayings.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But
Whoa!
anywho,
Whoa!
Robbie Reyes.
Yes, Robbie Reyes. Whoa! Damn! Damn! he, he really does not like sayings. Um, one sec. So before I get into this, let me pour up another glass. I already finished my first glass. So
Yeah, he gonna be lit by the time this is over.
oh, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm excited for this month. We got a lot of really awesome shit going on this month, so I'm very very excited. And then when November comes, November is going to be a very good month for us. So I'm very excited for everything that we have planned going forward. Please, level sevens, everyone who has been watching us from the beginning, even put your people on, new friends, new family, and everything. Put them on. We got a lot of awesome stuff. We are growing, we are building, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We got a lot coming for you. So, Robbie Reyes. The story of Robbie Reyes starts in L.A. or in Marvel's L.A.
Mm-hmm. Which is very
Where
rare.
Yeah, very rare for them to actually have a. Well, for it's rare for us to see anything other than New York in Marvel.
Should they be having the West Coast don't exist?
Right, right. You know, now for Robbie Reyes, he was, pretty much he was the adult when it comes to his family because it was just him and his brother forever, and his brother was disabled in a wheelchair. Um, But now a situation ends up happening. Well, his brother wasn't in a wheelchair. He was a street racer, and there was a situation ended up happening with a pretty much a rival of his where there ended up being a shootout. He got shot at. The dudes that were shooting at him, and they end up, putting his brother in the wheelchair. His brother gets paralyzed from the bullet. Um, and in those moments of him laying there, I'm gonna go through two origins. I'm gonna go through what I know of the comic book origin, and correct me if there's any point that I may be mistaken on triage. And then I'm also gonna go into Marvel's origin of Robbie Reyes, which I personally like a lot.
Go ahead.
Which they are very similar. So in that moment he gets offered the deal. He accepts in order to take revenge on the people that hurt his brother. So with that being said, he takes on, becomes a writer, and now we've seen mammoths, we've seen horses, we've seen motorcycles, but because he was a street racer, he takes on this this Dodge Charger RT, like I think it was like 440 Magnum, like literally the Dodge Charger that Dominic Toretto essentially drives in the Fast and Furious. The unbreakable. I swear to God, this man Dominic Toretto did rob this man Robbie Reyes of his like his immortal Dodge Charger, because that Dodge Charger has been through some shit and it still runs. So it only makes sense that it's magical and immortal and hellified in some shape or form. Once everything's in there.
Oh my
So
god.
with that, being said, I'm gonna get over into the Marvel's origin of Robbie Reyes, which
You mean
again is
Shield?
very, very
You mean
similar.
Shield? You mean Agents of Shield? You mean?
No. It's Marvel. I don't care. Marvel is Marvel. Agents of Shield is Marvel.
But you kept saying Marvel. Was you mean the comic book and Marvel in general?
Okay, the MCU, because I don't care what nobody says. Shield is a part of the MCU. I don't give a fuck. There was too many tie overs, too many cross ends. Shield is a part of the MCU. So in the
Who said
MCU,
it wasn't?
what was that?
Who said it wasn't?
Marvel.
Are we talking about that retcon they did in the final season? I don't count that shit.
I don't count that shit either. So to me, Agents of Shield is a part of Marvel. We see other MCU characters. We see Lady Sif. We see all these other characters. We see Phil Coulson. We see these characters that are part of the MCU. I don't give a flying figgity fuck. It's a
Listen,
part of the MCU.
I still want to know where the fuck Daisy Johnson went.
Where the fuck is Quake? Thank you. But essentially it's the same storyline, but instead of it being Mephisto, Metasopoulos, whoever, it's literally actually Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze happens to ride. It was actually a car accident, not necessarily a shootout, but the other driver calls calls Robbie to crash with his brother in the car, and that's how his brother ends up getting paralyzed. And Robbie is pretty much almost dead. And next thing you know, he hears a motorcycle pull up on him. He sees the leather boots, the leather pants, the leather jacket. Walks up to him, and he gets offered the Ghost Rider from Johnny Blaze himself. We never get to see Johnny Blaze's face, and I would love to think that it was Nicolas Cage, Johnny Blaze, that did it. I would love to think it was Nicolas Cage got Johnny Blaze, but there we go. We got Robbie Reyes. Now, into the fact of why Robbie Reyes is one of my favorite writers. One, he uses the chain. He uses the chain. There's no shotgun, no none. He just got the hands in the chain. Hands in the chain. But what Agent of Shield ends up pointing out is that he has the ability to traverse worlds in a way, because he's able to go into the dark dimension. He's able to create a whole portal in the same way that Doctor Strange is able to use the portals to open up to different areas. He's able to do the same thing with his chain into other dimensions, or into the dark dimension. So that's one thing I find is really awesome. I personally feel like he's more than just a Ghost Rider. And then I can't necessarily remember the comic book series that I was that I was reading. I think it was like the All New Avengers or something like that comic run, where it takes place in an alternate timeline. Like Tony Stark is not Iron Man. He's actually Ant-Man. Thor isn't Thor. It's actually Odin that's Thor. That's the Thor character. And it has to do with the symbiotes and with the Black Skull. Yeah. So when I say Black Skull, you can only think about Red Skull having a symbiote, Venom symbiote. And what we end up finding out, we end up getting introduced to all these different characters. Apparently he was like traversing the multiverse in his hellified Dodge Charger with a zombified version of Deathlock.
That sounds terrifying.
It is. It is. Like, ladies and gentlemen, and all level sevens, you can just go. You can go back. Head to our YouTube, the Super Breakdown on YouTube. You can go back to our previous episodes. That episode is up on our YouTube when we were actually talking about um certain comic books that we. It was like part of our comic book of the day or issue of the week. Um, when it came to comic books, and I was talking about that. I was actually reading through that one. But he what the what Black Skull ended up doing is he actually was going around and collecting other Robbie Reyes's from around the multiverse to prove a point to Robbie Reyes. And all these guys, they were all different in many different ways, but Robbie Reyes was the only Robbie Reyes in the entire multiverse to become a Ghost Rider. He was as he said it, the anomaly.
So he's like the Miles Morales of Ghost Riders.
Exactly. Yup. He was a Miles Morales of Ghost Riders. And with that, like, he kind of put him in a room, put all the Robbie Reyes in the room, and essentially said, "Yo, the last one standing, I'll release the last one standing." And so now he's standing in the middle of pretty much a war zone of all these Robbie Reyes is killing each other. So he's watching himself kill himself. He's watching himself kill himself, and they end up revealing. And then we end up seeing another version of Ghost Rider in this as well, which is the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, as a Ghost Rider. The Green Goblin as a Ghost Rider. I forgot what they called him. That was like the Green Rider or something like that. But we ended up seeing Norman Osborn's Ghost Rider, who is pretty much like the right hand or kind of like a bounty hunter to the Black Skull, which is Red Skull with a Venom symbiote. And so Black Skull, he's asking this Green Goblin Ghost Rider like all these questions, like, yo, like, what's going on with this Robbie Reyes character? What's going on with this Ghost Rider? Nowhere and anywhere else have we been able to find a Robbie Reyes that was a Ghost Rider besides him. What's the difference? Why is he so special? And essentially he's like, I don't know. I've never seen it before either. He's an anomaly. Now we end up finding out that Black Skull decides he's going to take him and start torturing him. When I say torturing him, he's literally cutting off pieces of Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, cutting pieces off of his body until pretty much he's like, oh, this is who I am, blah 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 blah. But he doesn't break. And what we end up finding out for Deathlock once Robbie is finally returned to his cell, but Deathlock is like, no, dude, this confirms my thoughts. Yes, you are the only Robbie Reyes. You're an anomaly. You seem to be what's known as what I would call an all rider. You're not just bound to your charger, to your vehicle. You're not bound to one universe. You're an all rider. You ride anything you want, including the multiverse. Your spirit of vengeance is something above all else, and that's why I find it find him so awesome, because he's essentially a super Ghost Rider in a way. I know in the second Ghost Rider movie, we see Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider essentially become the true spirit of vengeance. Like, the chains on his spirit of vengeance are broken, and it becomes essentially more imbued with the archangel, the heavenly side of it, instead of the demonic side. But being an all rider, being able to essentially open portals to different universes at will, ride the currents of the multiverse, that's just fucking nuts to me. That's nutty to me. I don't know. To me, that was a hard shot. Whoa. Oh, Dwayne Johnson, please sponsor us, man. Please sponsor us. That's Terramana is the best damn tequila that I've ever had, and I've had a lot of tequila. But I don't know, person. That's just me. That's just me. Um, but again, like I said, again, aside from uh Robbie Robbie Reyes, Johnny Blaze, aside from the original writer and Carter Slade, Phantom writer, we also end up seeing let's see, so it was like after the Fear Itself event, it was like a Central American woman named what was her name? Something Jones. Uh Alejandra, I think it was like Alejandra or something like that. Alejandra Jones. She
No,
was introduced as a new Ghost Rider.
I've heard that name and I know nothing about her.
Yeah, so apparently, like, the one difference between her and the other Ghost Riders was that she was trained for the role. When the time came, her mentor Adam performed the ritual to transform her into the Ghost Rider. So kind
That
of like
sounds terrifying.
yeah, so kind of like how you were talking about the original in the comic books, the original Johnny Blaze got into the black magic to become Ghost Rider. It's kind of like the same thing with her. So but she was also later trained by Johnny Blaze. But after some wild occurrences and stuff, she would take most of her power. He ended up taking most of her powers back. So clearly at this point, she's pissed off about this. So Jones, she ends up use her remaining powers to protect her village as the guardian of Phantasma, the guardian of Phantasma. But it would be short lived as a maniacal symbiote Carnage killed her in the Absolute Carnage storyline. Absolute Carnage symbiote of Vengeance in 2019 issue number 1. And then after her, then we ended up getting Robbie Reyes, who was introduced in the all new Ghost Rider 2014 issue number 1, East Los Angeles and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, man, it's the mantle of the Ghost Rider is is wild because it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't stop there because then we end up going into the future, and this is where we got to start looking at the 2099 comic book series. So we end up running into Kenshiro, also known as Zero, who was an anarchist hacker kind of thing. He was a part of a gang called Hotwire Martyrs. Uh, again, this takes place in the year 2099. He was shot by a rival gang, and it was on the brink of death. He transferred his consciousness into cyberspace, where he was discovered by an AI collective named Ghostworks. Now, when asked to become, their avatar of change, Kenshiro obviously said yes and was downloaded into a Cybertrack 101 warbot. So this Ghost Rider is a fucking robot. Uh, so he ended up made it his mission to avenge his and his fallen friend's death. But the rest of his story would end up remaining unwritten. So we see him, but we don't get much of him. Um, but he ends up reappearing in Ghost Rider 2099 issue number 1 and Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha, the latter of which is it celebrated the 30th anniversary of the 2099 anniversary. But again, that's all we end up getting to see of him. So there was another Ghost Rider after Robbie Reyes. And then we got the multiverse cosmic Ghost Rider that I talked about, Frank Castle, Punisher, who ends up becoming the hero of Galactus post Infinity War. Um, but yeah, like the history of Ghost Rider is nuts. So again, we have Ghost, the first Ghost Rider, air quote first Ghost Rider. We got Carter Slade, Johnny Blaze. We got Hellhawk. We got Kashala. My bad. We got I'm sorry. I went out of order. I'll go in order. So we got Ghost. We got Hellhawk. We got Noble Kale. We got Kashala, Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Robbie Reyes. All right, Danny Ketch. Then no. Danny Ketch. Then Alejandro Jones. Robbie Reyes. After Robbie Reyes, we got this Kenshiro character from 2099. Then after Kenshiro, or at least in a multiverse, um we got Frank Castle, Johnny Blaze. But an honorable mention to me I have to go back to Agent of Shield, where we get two other people that end up taking up the mantle of Ghost Rider
Oh,
in that episode.
go ahead.
Yeah, so we end up getting look, what's his name? What was the black dude's name?
Alfonso McKenzie.
Yeah, we end up getting Mackenzie, who Agent Mackenzie taking on the role of Ghost Rider. And I knew I saw that coming when he ended up getting a shotgun with the axe, which was pretty badass.
I agree.
My bad. Hold up. I take it back. Hold on. I take it back. Let me correct myself. Director Mackenzie, because he does become the director of Shield, and as in Agents of Shield, he becomes the director of Shield. So Director Mackenzie ends up becoming a Ghost Rider, and this man's running around with a shotgun with an axe on it. I knew something was going to be interesting about that because we see Mackenzie riding a motorcycle a lot. He's a motorcycle enthusiast. He builds motorcycles and shit like that. I saw that coming, and then he would wear the leather and then the shotgun. I was like, this is interesting. So he ends up becoming a Ghost Rider for a short period of time. Then after that, Coulson becomes the Ghost Rider for a short period of time, and then he ends up giving the rider back to Robbie Reyes when they were doing that whole the whole android thing. What are they called again? The when they went through the whole android shit, when Fitz made that damn android,
The LMDs.
the LMD, when they went through the whole LMD storyline. And yeah, and they introduced a robot to the Darkhold. The robot read the fucking Darkhold, became even more sentient, and then started using technology to open up portals to the Dark Realm after reading this, which I found really awesome because that was a nice little tie-in to Doctor Strange. And they were pointing out, yeah, no. She's not using technology. She's reading magic as technology and using technology pretty much to create magic. Because if you look, that portal that she ends up making, she uses the lasers to create the lines and stuff like that. That's exact. That there were the outlines and the lining and the runes that Doctor Strange uses as well.
Yeah, when he creates the portals, when he uses the sling rings and spins his hand in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we end up seeing at the end of all that, we end up seeing Robbie Reyes do the same thing, create that same portal. That's what I was talking before with the chain. He takes
Yes.
the chains off, goes all rider, and he starts spinning the chain in a circle, and it ends up creating a sling ring portal. Yeah. I don't know, man. The whole storyline and mantle of Ghost Rider it's nuts, it's bonkers, and to me it's really fun to read. It's a really fun read because anybody can be a Ghost Rider. Anybody that's on the brink of death, they don't even have to be on the brink of death. They just have to be willing to take the to take. They have to be willing to take the deal, and they also have to have enough anger and vengeance inside of them to pretty much to fuel the rider.
Mm.
So essentially, hell, again, Wolverine can become a Ghost Rider. Hell, Batman could become a Ghost Rider. I know. You don't have to go there. I know.
Fuck prep time.
Oh my. Whoa. Did I hear
Yes.
what I thought I heard?
Yes, you heard what you thought you heard. Yes.
What was it that I heard?
Fuck prep time.
Whoa. Oh. Oof. Oof.
I would like to go on record and say that Batman doesn't have the balls to be a Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that because again, he doesn't kill.
I don't want to hear nothing about this whole dark metal verse and extra other shit.
Now, the Batman who laughs to become a Ghost Rider, now that's a fucking problem.
You know what? Because we're on this real quick. You want to know? To quote my son Casino Black, what jams my Glock? The way that they have fumbled his rogues gallery.
Batman's Rose Gallery?
No, the Ghost Riders.
Oh, get into that. Get into it.
Okay. Blackheart.
Uh-huh.
What do you know about Blackheart?
Not a damn thing.
Okay, so you know.
He's like,
The only thing I know about Blackheart, he's the son of Mephisto. That's pretty much it.
That's the only thing we know, and that's from the movie.
That's
Well-
not from the movie. No, that's from comic book too, I think. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not technically his son per se, not in the biblical sense.
Yeah.
So what Mephisto did was he took all the negative energy that had occurred in an area. Like there was an area that he just let basically just fall to the wayside.
Kind of like Sam Ganza.
Right. That had multiple murders and rapes and lynchings and riots and all these fights, all this pain. Like the soil itself was literally soaked in blood. So what he did was he took all that negative energy and formed it into an actual being. And he took a small part of himself and placed it inside that energy, and it gave it form. And then, like from the story I read, is that form took the appearance of a young man. So he was like, he basically took that energy and turned it into a being, and then made that being his protege.
I still count that. I still count that as his son.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he created it. That's how everybody thinks of it. But the whole issue is that, like he said, like, he's like, when he went to address him, he was like, you don't have a name. He's like, what should I call you? And he was like, well, since I was created from the blackest from the deeds of men with the blackest hearts, call me Blackheart.
That's fire. That's
Right.
fire.
Like he's literally created from the darkest deeds of men. So it's like, now the issue is because, like, if you watch like the Ghost Rider movie, he has no patience for his father. He wants to rule.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things, like, there's certain rules that have to be followed, as opposed to having to follow the rules. He's like, fuck that, I'm gonna do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they had that whole scene where he was like, you can't burn my soul. I don't have a soul to burn.
And that's when we end up seeing he ends up calling down those other other elemental fallen angels to pretty much help him hunt down, the contract, so you can absorb those souls of the contract.
Now, I don't have I don't have an issue with that actor. I'm forgetting his last name. I know his first name is Wes. I can't remember if they think of his last name. The one who played him in the movie, because I'm actually a big fan of his. But I'm not sure if it was just the script or things that they tried to do. But it's like his character to me in that movie is not menacing.
Wes Bentley.
Yes, like his performance of Blackheart is not terrifying. Like in the comics, Blackheart is terrifying. From the
Shit. Marvel vs. Capcom, he's a fucking problem.
right, from the stuff he did to the way he used people from possessions to the way he killed people. Like he like that shit should have been like a full on exorcist type situation,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. Now, once again, if he was just following the script that was read or was written or however the case may be, but it's like Blackheart to me was like he's just pure evil.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree. I definitely agree because I was expecting him to pretty much when he became, when he got to Earth or the mortal realm, that he was just gonna fucking like cause havoc and just like start massacres and start. I mean, because we see him start the fight and start the bar massacre where pretty much he ended up making them all fight and kill each other and shit like that. We see that, but like I also want to point out that scene gave me Terminator 1 vibes.
Well, yeah, because like that movie was supposed to have like a Western feel to it. So yeah, like the whole thing with him walking into the bar, I want your bike, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. He definitely like the character in the movie definitely fell short um of what the actual source material definitely is. Like I feel like he captured the the egotistical side of the character, like I am fucking all powerful, almighty, fuck my father, in a way that he's running shit. Nah, bro, we evil. We need to just fucking absolutely destroy this earth, blah blah blah, take the souls, take what we want, fuck the rules kind of thing. Like I definitely got that from him, but that murderous just like everybody dies. I didn't get the everyone dies. Like he came to Earth on a mission and he stuck to that mission instead of just saying, gonna kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you, just because.
And
Just
it's like, and he would have took like joy in doing it.
mm-hmm. But even then, I feel like why didn't they have the character take the souls of the people he was killing? He just murdered them. Like I would have saw that as like a lust for souls as well. Like, yeah, I'm surrounded by all these fucking souls. I'm gonna massacre everyone. Why was he so hell bent, no pun intended, on the contract of Salman Gaza? You were literally now on in the world where you can just take souls as you wish. But he said, fuck all this. It's like walking into a meat market. And don't worry, this is not going to be wild. It's not going to be wild.
Yeah, listen. I was buckled in, man. I know where this was going, but I knew it was going to be epic.
All right, yeah. So yeah. So it's not going to be epic. It's not going to be. This one's not going to be epic. It was like walking into a meat market, starving. You have all these prime eggs, steaks everywhere. You got free run. The fucking person's not behind the counter. You can just take everything. You can take whatever you want. And he goes for the fucking pigs in a blanket. That's the way I saw it as. You're surrounded by all this, but but they had it written that he was on a mission. I was like, okay, can he not be on a mission and also enjoy the fact that he's not in hell anymore and he can just feast upon the soul, whatever souls he wants?
Right.
So that definitely threw me off about the movie as well. And And again, Blackheart is a fucking problem in Marvel vs. Capcom, bro. I hate people that play as Blackheart.
right? And then apparently, and this is something I didn't even know till recently because I keep trying to find something on her and I can't. Apparently, Mephisto has a whole daughter, so
Yeah.
Blackheart has a sister.
Yep. I do. Yeah, I do know about that. Yep, I did know about that.
Let's see the whole thing with Blackout, the Kerrigan, his character from the second one. I felt like he was a little bit more down to earth, like as far as like his affiliations and the shit he was. But it's like him too. Like he wasn't like I give you the power of rot and decay. Okay, but like how is that going to work against the supernaturally possessed guy with the demon?
Right. I don't know. I just feel like don't
No.
do not get me started on Spirit of Vengeance. That movie was. I feel like that movie was horrible in every fucking way.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay.
Did you die, Jack?
No, the game cheated me. Cheated me. I ain't nothing doing. Cheat the fuck out of me. I'm mad about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the character Vengeance, who's supposed to be like the anti Ghost Rider, like there's just like a lot of shit. That's like, he has decent villains, but it's like they're not being put to like their full use, or they're not being used well at all.
Yeah. So from what I'm seeing, his sister's name is Mephisto.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Blackheart's first appearance was in Daredevil.
Yes.
Number 270. In 1998.
That I did know.
Known as Hell Lords. His affiliation was with Hell Lords, Hellfire Club, the Spirits of Vengeance, Corrupt, not the rapper, and the Legions of Night. Like, geez, like which. And in every iteration, every world, he's known as Blackheart. Wonder
So
what I would
bad.
be interested in seeing? Then bringing him into the MCU and definitely have him because clearly he's like he's a magical or mystical or kind of like dark arts kind of character. I feel like I know he's definitely faced off against Doctor Strange. I would love to see that. Clearly the next Doctor Strange setup, he's going into the dark realm. It'll be interesting for me to see like a version of Blackheart.
And then like him be completely out of his league.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then we get to see Ghost Rider.
Like, oh yeah, you think up there, yeah, you might be the shit, but down here, nigga, I'm king. Like I can already see how it works.
Absolutely. And again, we say a lot on this show that it writes itself. But when it's already written, it's
Just
a
follow the
different
blueprint.
story. Like,
All you gotta do is follow the blueprint.
or the blueprint has already been written from decades past. The story has already written. This is my problem with DC. The story's already written. Just take the blueprint. Stop trying to fucking make your own plans. Can't make
Right.
it. You're like fucking Tyrese and fucking the Fast and Furious. You gotta shut up and follow the blueprint. Stop. You can't make a plan for shit. All your plans go to shit. You're not Fred. You're not Fred from fucking Scooby Doo. No. DC, stop. Just follow the blueprint. Maybe add a little extra shit here and there. So you're not just copying straight out of the comic books like Marvel. Marvel already gave you the blueprint. Just follow it, and they could crush Marvel. DC could crush Marvel. To me, DC stories are far more interesting, far more fun to read. They're way darker. Like, I still hands down say that I like the Marvel's heroes, but I love DC's villains.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And the wild part is that like I said, the one thing that they could have did that would have smoked Marvel's boots was let the Justice League fight the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. And honestly, they were building to that, and then they fucked it up. They were building to it, and they fucked it up.
Hell, we got Aquaman coming out what in 2 months,
Mm.
and I fucking love Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Black Manta. I have no interest in seeing that movie.
Oh, absolutely. That's fucking perfect. That's a fucking perfect. Like, I don't know. I feel like DC is a slow child. Like, you're a parent, you got 2 kids. One of them is a very, one of them was walking before the average child. One of the talking, everything. He's super, super intelligent. Comprehension levels are super high and shit like that. But then you got the one child that's just a little special, a little touched. DC's that touched child, that special child.
Listen, I don't think you should be saying DC touching children in the same sentence.
Where are we going with that?
I'm telling you that I don't think we should be saying certain words in the same sentence. All right.
What do you know about DC touching children?
Listen, we all know what happened to Robin in the Batcave.
Oh, not just Robin. I just want to.
We know what he did to Barbara.
I don't care. Oh, you're right. He did. He did.
Yo,
I don't give a
that
damn.
laugh sounds real rowdy right now.
Batman was touching dick.
This is true.
Batman was touching dick. He touched the fuck out of dick.
Jack, stand down.
No. You cannot tell this man to stand down.
Jack, stand down.
I'm taking the chains off, buddy. We are in the last few minutes of the show. Go off. We got to make up for lost time. This show has been very tame compared to others. Hell no. I'm taking the chains off. Bro, you are currently Jet Li in Unleashed. Collars off. Go off, Jag. Go off.
Messing around and got her pregnant with books when she was messing around with freaking Robin in the first place. He did some foul shit. Batman did some foul shit.
Batman did some foul shit, man. I don't give a fuck. Batman was touching dick.
Listen, I don't want to hear that because Barbara Gordon willingly spread her legs for him.
She did.
But still,
I don't want to hear it. She willingly spread her legs for him.
I 100% agree. 100%. But that's the other foul shit too. How you fuck your best friend's daughter? Do any nigga that you trust? Don't any nigga that you trust? You fucked your daughter. You fucked his daughter. And Barbara was definitely in her 20s at that time. And Batman was definitely like in his 40s at that time.
Well,
and it was his son's girl too.
Yeah. Not only did you fuck your best friend's daughter, but you also fucked essentially your son's girl and got her pregnant. Batman's a piece of shit.
I've only been saying this since day one.
I know. We're just adding to the argument. Not to mention, he's a fucking multi-billionaire and decides to help Gotham by fighting crime instead of using all his money.
So I'm asking your opinion. Now. Can I actually go? Which one's worse, Tony Stark or Batman?
Ooh, Tony Stark or Batman? Who's worse?
What?
Who's worse? Yeah. Tony Stark's cutting a shiny condom.
Who is worse?
Yeah.
Tony Stark or Batman?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Who's the worst person?
That is hands down Tony fucking Stark.
Elaborate. I want to hear.
Well, first and foremost, because there is no place like Gotham City. Let's get that out the way.
Yes, granted.
There is nobody with worse villains than Batman. The only person who has villains that even come close to Batman are Spider-Man's.
Granted, very granted.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the things that Bruce Wayne has done for Gotham City, around Gotham City, look at his proteges, the way that they work and the way that they carry themselves.
Okay.
Like,
All right. I see where you're going. With this. I agree. Go ahead.
look at Iron Man.
Now, are we going comic book Iron Man or MCU Iron Man?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We can go full demon in a bottle, or we can go with this cunt making all the different suits and having Guy Pearce ready to kill himself after jumping off the building and all the other dumb shit. All right.
Granted, 100%. I see your argument. You have persuaded me. Iron Man's the worst person because at least Batman with his tirade, his intentions are to make and not even intentions, but what he has done. He has made Gotham a better place.
No. Hold on. Batman's issue is the same as Anakin Skywalker's. Batman's issue is control. That's what he wants. That is the reason why he trained Dick Grayson. That is the reason why he continued to allow Batgirl to do what she did after she found out who she was. That is the reason why he took in Jason Todd. Listen, it's all control.
I agree with you 100%. Now, my thing is, but you also now look at, even though he has a control problem, his acts have in fact actually made Gotham better.
According to whom?
There's actually a timeline where I hate this. I hate the fact that I'm about to say this shit.
Go ahead.
And it burns my britches so much, and it jams my Glock, and it grinds my gear.
Spit it out, nigga.
There's in Flash, in the Flash movie, Batman did actually get rid of the crime in Gotham.
Whoa. Flag on the play, face mask, clipping, unnecessary holding, roughness, roughing the quarterback, 40-yard penalty. It's going to be triage's ball. I'm not counting that because that's Tim Burton's Batman.
Yes, but remember, we're talking about either or. We're talking about
nah. Tim Burton's Batman sits on a pedestal all its own. All right.
I agree. I agree, but we're talking about Batman in a whole, all together, everything.
Oh, okay, so that's just like the whole thing with Christopher Nolan's Batman. I want you to go find a life beyond Batman. I want you to go find something beyond the cape and the cowl and the long nights. You've watched Young Justice.
Agreed.
There is nothing more important than the mission.
Yeah.
The whole idea of him finding a life beyond the cowl completely goes against the character. Yet no one ever talks about that.
But now the thing is, once you complete the mission,
but Nick, the mission would never be over though. Period. We've learned that from watching Vandal Savage.
Agreed, but I put Vandal Savage on the
same
level.
Watch Batman Beyond.
Yeah, true.
The mission is never over.
Batman Beyond was Batman quitting before the mission was over.
That's not listen. But once again, that was from his fuck ups and what happened. If Barbara Gordon wasn't in a wheelchair, if Dick Grayson hadn't said fuck this and ran off, if the Joker hadn't fucked Tim Drake.
Jason Todd.
It was Tim Drake.
It was Tim Drake in that continuity.
Oh, and it was.
And even then, the whole Jason Todd situation. There are so many things that went wrong under Batman's watch that should have been prevented or changed.
Agreed, and this is where I feel like, and again, I just want to point out.
And the wild part is,
like defending Batman.
And the wild part is, I will take the Bat family in most fights, just from the squad that they have.
Agreed. But and I hate defending Batman. I fucking hate defending Batman. But I feel like that is also a testament to the character, the fact and brings the fact that he's only human and humans make mistakes. And the fact that Batman has to live with the mistakes he made.
Oh, but you know, all he needs is prep time, and he can solve any problem, right?
No, fuck prep time. Fuck prep time. No. No. Fuck prep time. Fuck prep
Choose
time.
what you started. See what you started.
Fuck prep time. I 100%. I am 100% on your side of, but again, there's certain shit you can't fix. Certain shit you can't fix. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
Him pushing the Joker to that point, to the point where when he goes after Barbara Gordon. Batman's the reason why Barbara Gordon's in the fucking wheelchair. He's the reason why she's a fucking vegetable. Children, always eat your vegetable. Always eat your vegetables.
Listen. To show you how bad of a detective he is, there was 3 Jokers all along, and this motherfucker never even knew that.
100. I agree. I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
The clown, the criminal, the comedian.
I thought it was the anarchist.
Nah.
The clown, comedian, and anarchist.
Nah,
the clown, the criminal, and the anarchist. Because the clown is the comedian.
See, I thought the same thing too, but no. They are labeled the clown, the comedian, and the criminal.
Who the fuck is the comedian?
I'm thinking that's more like the Arthur Fleck type Joker, the one Joaquin Phoenix played.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I thought that was a good movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a great movie. It was a great movie, but I also kind of feel like it wasn't really a Joker movie. And I actually recently spoke to somebody at work that kind of put me on to their way of thinking, and I definitely see where they're going at. It definitely really wasn't. See, I also want to point out. I want to say this now. All roads lead back to fuck prep time. All roads end up leading back to Batman. Every episode we end up talking about fucking Batman.
That's just because you yuppie cunts keep bringing him up.
I didn't bring him. I didn't bring him up this time. I didn't bring him up.
I asked the
Did I
question.
bring him up
I
this
asked the
time?
question. Nope. I asked the question about the whole who's worse. Because we got whole thing.
Yeah, because the thing. Remember when we talk about Iron Man, we always so from now on we can no longer talk about Iron Man, because when we talk about Iron Man, we always end up talking about Batman.
The cut in the shiny condom. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you both should be ashamed of yourselves because you're always talking about the white privilege and never bring up the Black King. So I'm going to leave that out there.
The reason why we don't bring up the Black King, because the Black King is a fucking king.
Mm.
Richer than Batman. I personally feel like he has way more martial arts experience than Batman, and he runs a fucking country, a whole nation. We do not bring up kings when we're speaking about peasants.
All right, then.
His technology is way better than fucking Tony Stark's. Way better than Tony Stark. Tony Stark couldn't even think about it. He's richer than Tony Stark and Batman combined. We do not talk about kings when we're talking about peasants. That's why we don't talk about Black Panther. Black Panther's perfect. He takes care of his people. He uses his money and his riches to, again, take care of his people. And he fights crime as well. He does what Batman should be doing. Motherfucker, you are rich beyond, to the point you can literally disappear. For like, what was it, like 13 years? It was over a decade. 10 years he disappeared from Gotham. 10 years he disappeared for Gotham and was set still and came back to a fucking mansion. He came back to money after 10 years. And still did. Whoa, I'm sorry. I just want to point out. Dude, they have all those fucking costumes for Venom in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking fire. That's so fucking dope.
Oh. You want to know a little fun fact?
Go ahead.
The Green Lanterns cannot go into Gotham City without Batman's permission.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that.
I'm not sure if that's an actual fact or if it's like a Chuck Norris fact. But I
No,
read that
no,
somewhere, and I thought that was
I actually heard it's an actual fact. Yeah, I heard it is an actual fact. Um, but no, yeah, I just feel like it is such. Yeah, no, we don't talk about Black Panther when we're talking about Batman or Iron Man. Only time we talk about Black Panther when we're talking about Batman or Iron Man is when we're talking about how Black Panther could beat Batman and Iron Man by
Easily.
himself, single handedly,
T'Challa smoking his boots.
smoking both of their boots. Batman has all this money, but he chooses to only fight crime. He has one of the most high tech and advanced facilities in the world. Yet he does not direct them to make anything that can help the community. Instead of building all this high tech shit so he can fight crime, he should be using his money to build homeless shelters, to build new facilities to give the homeless of Gotham a job. That's how you fight crime. Again, yeah, he'll still have to handle the people like Penguin and Joker and shit like that that feed off of the poverty, who, if everyone had jobs, they would have no henchmen.
But see, that's why I like Green Arrow better.
I agree. I 100% agree. That's why I definitely do like Green Arrow better. I do feel like Batman would, in a fight, would smoke Green Arrow boots, but as a person, as a hero, Green Arrow is the better hero. Tony Stark, same problem. Has all this money, but his ideas of helping the people are on a grandiose scale.
Uh, the, Green Arrow is actually a better fencer, better
Oh,
marksman, better hunter and trapper.
true. I'm talking about just hand to hand fighting, like hand to hand combat. Batman knows way more martial arts and just on the logistics scale of it. On the logistics scale of it, strategic scale, again, nope. Without no prep, with no prep time, Green Arrow got it. Because I feel like even though Oliver Queen is also, I feel like his family's equivalently as rich as the Waynes. Even when Batman was studying with Ra's al Ghul or whatever, or even if you want to go off the movies or whatever, when he was still taken care of. He was still taken care of. Oliver Queen was on an island where he had to fend for his fucking self. Oliver
For
Queen was
years.
forged in fire.
Well, apparently, there's a version of the story where they were both his students.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because Oliver was under the code name Al Sahim, which translates to the arrow, and then I forget how you say bat in Arabic, but that's what Bruce Wayne was known as. Bruce Wayne was his number one student, while Oliver was his number two.
And again, we actually when we see that in the Arrowverse, we see that that Oliver at one point, before he came back from the island, was trained by the League,
Hmm.
which is what brought the whole issue of Ra's al Ghul and Talia and Anissa to two star slash Starling slash Star City. And the same thing with with Deathstroke and Slade. Um um but no, yeah, definitely. I agree with 100%. I feel like Green Arrow is 100% the better hero. If you're going off of like the majority of source material, the majority of source material, Oliver Queen was forced in fire on Lian Yu by himself. Not necessarily by himself, but like he was forced and fired. He had to survive by himself for years. Bruce Wayne was taken care of by the League, and still went back to having riches and gold, and not only did he have riches and gold, but he embraced the riches and gold. Oliver Queen, when he came back to civilization, he said, "Fuck this riches and gold. We got to fix this city." And he started doing that by using his money and also becoming the hero. He used both his wealth and his ability as a crime fighter. Batman is a fucked up person. Like, yeah, Oliver had his demons for the shit that he went through on the island, but he combated them and pushed those back and pushed those away and ended up, you know what I mean? Batman, on the other hand, he allowed his demons to consume him. He most
That's why he was that. That's why he wasn't picked to become Green Arrow, because he never got over. Excuse me, not Green Arrow. That's why he wasn't picked to be Green Lantern, because he never got out of fear of his parents' death.
Exactly.
But
yeah, well,
like I said, we got off subject.
Yeah, we definitely went on a tangent at the end, which I don't mind. I like, after, we kind of gave the full story, the full rundown of Ghost Rider, so I definitely don't mind.
Well, real quick,
yo,
where would you like to see the character go in the future?
I definitely need to see him. I definitely need as we see Jag playing right now, Midnight Suns. I would like to see a Midnight Suns. I would like to see Blade. I would like to see Ghost Rider. I would like to see that darker aspect and the underworld of the MCU be brought more to light. So I would definitely like to see them bring back Ghost Rider. I would love to see a cameo from Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. I would love to see that.
That's apparently the rumor in 3.
Yeah,
Deadpool 3, like when they're going around the Foxverse, pretty much destroying it.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, and Deadpool 3. Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors that we're going to see a lot of cameos from a lot of other characters. Shit, I would love to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade as a cameo. That would be fucking lovely. Maybe not actually. He doesn't even have to do shit. Just seeing Wesley Snipes as Blade as a little cameo, that would be fucking lovely. But with Ghost Rider,
he'll walk out the screen.
Yeah,
he'll walk out on the screen and go, "Some stupid motherfucker's always trying to bang." Wade shoots him.
He'd be like,
he'd stand over him and go, "How does a motherfucker ice skate uphill? Guess we'll never know," and walk off.
I can't co-sign that. You cannot kill Wesley Snipes' Blade because he started it. Fuck.
He started it.
It was Blade. Wesley Snipes' Blade started the MCU. I don't give a flying figgity fuck. Wesley Snipes' Blade started the MCU. Not Iron Man. It was Blade. I mean, technically, if you want to talk about it, we can go all the way back to the Japanese movie of Spider-Man. But
listen,
do that.
We don't need to do all that extra shit.
Yeah, that's extra. It was Blade. It was Wesley Snipes' Blade. But I would like to see him try. I would like to see Wade try to kill him, and he cuts off his arm, drops his gun. He's like, we don't play that here, and it kind of walks back through the portal, just to signify no, he's the staple. He's not going nowhere. He's the staple. Again, I do want to point out, a lot of people don't know this, but Wesley Snipes' Blade is a part of the Fox Marvel universe, because New Line Cinemas was owned by Fox, which is why Disney now owns Fox and New Line. But yeah, I would love to see Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage come back for a cameo, but I want them to expand on the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. This is the Ghost Rider that they established in S.H.I.E.L.D. I need to see them bring S.H.I.E.L.D. in.
Bring back Daisy Johnson.
Bring back the hashtag. Bring back Daisy Johnson. Hashtag. Bring back Quake. But yeah, I want to see him bring. I want to see Robert Reyes Ghost Rider, or just Ghost Rider in general, being brought back full fledged into the MCU. There's so many avenues that they can take with that. They're doing all this shit with fucking the multiverse and Doctor Strange. It falls right in line with the rest of that. That's the way I see it. And with that, does anybody else have any lasting words to say to the peoples?
Nah.
We know. We know.
Oh, let's see. The rules when dealing with the devil, boys and girls. First rule is don't. The second rule is remember he always comes to collect.
Third rule is read the fine print. And the number one golden rule above all else when you're dealing with comic books in general, ladies and gentlemen, all level 7s, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
That was our show, ladies and gentlemen, all level 7s. We will see you next time, next week, when we're talking about the one, the only Al Simmons Spawn. And we get to see Saiyan Jag here blowing holes in people as Spawn in Call of Duty. We love y'all. We'll see you guys next week.